What's good, guys? Welcome back to episode number 9 today of the career mode. I want to say a quick thank you for understanding yesterday. This video should have actually gone out yesterday, but as I came around to recording the commentary, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, and yesterday I was really struggling with it. I was just feeling so drained and such, so I pushed this back a day later to hopefully feel a bit better this morning. It has worked. You can probably still tell by the voice, the cold is still here, but I do feel a bit better than I did yesterday. So, back with a double upload today. Firstly, we've got career mode coming up at 4 PM right now, and then later on at 6, we will have a My Player episode as well, of course. And then, I'm out celebrating my birthday. It is my birthday today, so thank you in advance for any messages that you guys leave. I appreciate that, and without further ado, we're going to jump into our first game of the episode. But first, one thing I wanted to say, I have put a post out about this. The Ultimate Team Road to Glory is coming very shortly. I've started it on another account. I have been trading over there to try and get some starting coins. You'll see that as a video, and then hopefully we will begin live streaming it over on Twitch, uploading the highlights here to YouTube at a later date. But the first game then came against Fulham, and this one actually started off very, very nicely indeed. We took the lead inside 4 minutes with Florin Andone scoring the opening goal, but when I looked back at this one, you'll see what I mean. It was a really, really simple goal. Now, this is, of course, something I've touched upon before with the ultimate difficulty. Some games they play like Sunday League teams, other games you can't touch them effectively. And certainly at the start of this game, it felt like it was the first of the two. They turned up like a Sunday League team because that defending was absolutely horrendous as Florin Andone was the man to put us 1-0 in front. Do you know what's weird as well? He actually hasn't played that many games for us here that we started him in, but he's actually the club's top scorer, which is, I don't know whether or not that's a bad thing on our part for not scoring enough goals, or if that's just good on his part for taking the chances when he's in the team. You know what I'm saying? But our lead was short-lived because Andre Schürrle put the ball into the mixer, and Mitrovic put Fulham back on level terms. I had so many problems with this goal. I really did. It all started from the left-hand side, and you guys know how I feel about crosses conceded. Every single time I see it, I want to do something about it. I try and change something. I think this time around, what I'm going to do is just make sure I have taller players in my defensive stature, because the amount of times I'm losing the sort of headers in and around my box is a bit ridiculous. So full kudos to Mitrovic, full kudos to Schürrle for the ball in, but defensively, again, from our part, not quite what I was hoping to see from us. But we tried to get ourselves another chance just before the break. Unfortunately, there was no Pascal Gross on the field of play today. So the free kick duty fell to Davy Proper, who tried to emulate Pascal Gross, but unfortunately couldn't quite manage it, going over the top of the crossbar. He missed this one, and I can't remember if it was due to fitness or if it was due to discipline or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't in the team for it, and actually, Dale Stephens did a very, very good job coming into the team. You know, I've spoken about him before and said that when he comes in, he actually plays a massive part. But ALIREZA is the man to put us back in front in the game after a really nice right-footed finish right into that top corner. And that is much better finishing from myself. I think I might have cracked it now. I've been playing squad battles over an Ultimate Team for the Road to Glory series that's going to come, as I said. And I've been using time finishing a bit more, especially on the finesse shots. That one wasn't a time finish, but even so, it was a fantastic shot to the top corner. And to give us that 2-1 lead, I was very happy with it. So I think I'm starting to get the knack of the finishing, guys, which is a good thing and positive as well. Davy Proper driving forward here, going down the left, finding Izquierdo. He's got bags of pace. Fosu Mensah keeps with him, though, quite well. Delivers a cross in, and ALIREZA made it 3 with a quite brilliant header in towards the same corner, pretty much, that he put the second goal for us in. Obviously, different net because he switched ends at this point. But even so, what a header this one is from ALIREZA. Skipped it there. Not quite sure why. Probably a mistake on my part. I apologise. But a 3-1 win here anyways against Fulham is absolutely brilliant. I couldn't really ask for much more than that. Going 1-0 up and obviously conceding the goal we did. Mitrovic's header was a good header, but we bounced back and we actually reacted in a way that I wanted us to see react. So you can say it was a good performance, but you have to admit as well, few of the goals that we scored, especially the two from ALIREZA, both quality finishes. The first one from his feet, the second from the head. And you've got to say as well that Fulham will feel a little bit hard done by, because on another day, they'd have got themselves a draw here at Craven Cottage, but it wasn't meant to be. 3-1 win for us, 3 points, we move forward, and I'm so, so glad about it, because this league is very, very close. Now, obviously, we're still in the top 4. That is going to be where we try and finish. As I said earlier, I'm taking it game by game, just seeing what really comes, because with a new year and a new difficulty on Ultimate, I don't know how we should be playing, and I don't know how we are going to play once the side gets, upgraded or whatever. But all I know for now is that we are just going to have to take it game by game. And especially considering the fact that we beat Manchester United last time, that 2-0 win gives us an abundance of confidence moving forward. Now, bear in mind, guys, if you did leave a comment on the last episode for me to be able to make a signing, if I recorded it before your comment was left, it won't be done today, and we'll have to wait until the next window. But in terms of what it was, I actually didn't have a lot of money to spend. We had £12 million, and the board actually wants me to keep 8.8 of that in unspent funds. So realistically, we had about £4 million to spend. But I asked for some pre-contract signings. Now, the beauty of this first series is that I'm not going to worry about how unrealistic the pre-contract signings are, to an extent. So, when I asked you guys for them, you said Brahimi, and you also said Adrien Rabiot of PSG. There was a few other players as well. Anthony Martial is one of the ones that's available on a pre-contract in the first season. Problem is with him is that he is quite expensive on the wages in terms of that one. So if you're looking for players to actually pick up, Rabiot, Brahimi, two very, very solid players. Rabiot, I was looking at this and saying if he takes a pay cut, I will happily have him here because, again, it's one of those signings that I like Pereira. I don't think we need to be paying him that much wage. So I was looking at this thinking 80 grand is going to be my maximum. And if he accepts the £80,000 a week, so be it. I'll quite happily have him here at the Amex Stadium. We signed Brahimi just before this. There's the offer going in. And surprisingly enough, he was very, very happy with the £80,000 a week. So like Pereira, he clearly understands that we're building something here at the Amex and wants to play a part in that, even if he's going to be playing for less money than he was over at PSG. With the window coming to the close, though, I decided to show you some of the biggest deals from this January window. Milinkovic-Savic has gone to Manchester United in an £88 million deal, which is astronomical. Abdoulaye Doucouré moving earlier on in the January window as well to Manchester City. Few other ones that you can see is there as well. And I also showed you what kind of business we did because I forgot to show you it there as we skipped it. 4 pre-contract signings: Brahimi, Rabiot, Pereira, and of course the goalkeeper Remio is the players that have come in. We also signed Takefusa Kubo as part of a £650,000 deal and let go of a couple of players as well, including Ollie Norwood. Now, a lot of players won't be here next season that you're seeing as part of the squad report, but I decided to give you it anyway. There was an actual comment coming in asking me to show you it. Unfortunately, it's changed. It did change last year, and I don't particularly like this. I preferred the old style squad report. You could see a bit more in there. But I'm showing you the stats, showing you who scored goals and such. And if you want to check out a player, you can pause it and see how much they're growing by and all of that good stuff. ALIREZA has actually gone up by 1 to a 79 rated player. At this point, we haven't actually gotten an 80 rated in the side. So I'm waiting for our first one to appear. And I think it's probably going to be one of ALIREZA, Ollie Watkins, possibly maybe Montoya, and maybe Duffy. They're the ones that I'm looking at to potentially get themselves up to an 80 rated. Watkins has grown by 4. Sessegnon grown by as 3 as well. And as I said, top scorer is Florin Andone at the moment. 5 in 11 Premier League appearances this season so far, which is kind of strange, as I said, because he hasn't really played a massive part. But still, when he does play, he seems to do bits. But then again, Locadia's in there as well, and he scores important goals for us as well. So I don't particularly know who our number 1 forward currently is. We have obviously as well deployed Watkins up there a couple of times, seeing what he could do, but I think Watkins is more of a winger/cam that I'm going to be using at the moment. Second game of the episode coming in though now, and it is Watford. We are taking them on at the Amex. I was looking forward to this game because after we just beat Fulham 3-1, confidence is flowing, confidence is high as well, and I'm actually looking at this. They've got no Doucouré, they're 8th place, we're in 3rd. Everything suggests that Brighton are the side to beat here in this game. Not many changes to the lineup from the Fulham game. I think there was only one, and that was Pascal Gross coming back in for Dale Stephens. And also Andone actually started again here up front. So there were the main things to note. For Watford, that was their lineup. It's a strong one as well, and it's going to be a very tough game, but I feel like we do have the confidence flowing at the moment. And inside the first half, we got our first chance. Izquierdo is just so quick down that left-hand side. And the former player of the month was the man to have the first effort and the first goal of the game as well. What a finish from Izquierdo, making it Brighton 1, Watford 0 here at the Amex. Again, he is so dangerous going forward down the left. The only problem is, defensively, he's not the greatest. And when you're trying to hold out a lead, you know, when you're 1-0 up in a game and you're looking to defend and try your hardest to not concede, which we have done quite a few times this season, quite a few 1-0 wins in this first year here at Brighton, he isn't really the man that's going to be able to, defend for you. He's more of an attacking threat. I mean, I'm sure he does his bit in real life, and I'm sure he does his bit in the series for us. But when you're against some of the better teams, you just need a bit more of a defensive-minded left midfielder. So maybe we have to think about that heading forward and possibly change our game plan ever so slightly up. Into the second half, though, Ezequiel Charlotto down the right, put the cross in, and Done has got to take that under control. You know, that's not a half chance. He's unmarked. If he gets that down and takes the shot on, he's largely probably going to actually test the goalkeeper. And again, it was all Brighton at this point. Sessegnon in towards the mixer. Watkins doesn't catch his volley correct. And Done can't get a touch on the ball as it wiggles its way through to the keeper. And I was so angry because I genuinely felt like that should have been 2-0. And it was made to pay because Etienne found Isaac's success. Put the cross in towards the middle. It came out. Matty Ryan punched it. Not far enough. Capoue wins the header. Cleverly knocks it down. Andre Gray smashes it in. Brighton 1, Watford 1. It bounced so many times in the lead up to that goal that that's a bit ridiculous, really. So again, we were made to pay. Defensively, not sound enough. And although we had our chances, although Wally Watkins had that volley which he lashed at and Andone didn't touch it, we actually only got ourselves a single point here. Fulham had one shot in their game against us earlier. They scored it. Watford had one shot in their game just then. They scored it. You're seeing a pattern emerging here. We can't give away a single chance to ultimate difficulty because they're going to score it. So we have to be sound defensively throughout 90 minutes. If we're not, then that's the problem. As we sim a game here for the first time in the Premier League and actually lose it 2-1 to Burnley. Of course we do. I was so upset after that. I was like, I can't believe it. I genuinely felt like with the home advantage, the form we're in, that might play a part. I want to see as well this year if the away sims are still the same. You know, when you're taking on a team away from home, it doesn't matter really who you're playing against. It's always at a disadvantage because you're away. I don't know if that's the thing this year again, but we're going to see if that is going to be the case. I'm going to sim a couple more games down the line and just see what's going to happen in those games when we do have a better side. But nevertheless, the final game coming at you here from the King Power Stadium, Leicester City against our Brighton and Hove Albion. And let me say this game really frustrated me here. This is one of those moments where I had to take a break, and you'll see why. 9 minutes into the game, Pascal Gross, lovely ball outright towards ALIREZA, put the cross back in. First time towards the middle, Phil Foden gets his shot on target, Kasper Schmeichel has to save it, right? That wasn't the problem. This is a massive chance. Pascal Gross, again, keeps the play on. Izquierdo shoots it, a good save again from Schmeichel. It bounced back, and I couldn't get on the rebound. But I actually delayed the pass from Gross to Izquierdo by too long. I should have played it a lot sooner. And with that, in the second half, I genuinely lost control here. Jamie Vardy gets so lucky to get the ball bounced back to him, takes a single touch and absolutely rifles one in towards the bottom corner. And I was sat there thinking to myself, I was shaking my head and I was like, I don't know if I can play the next 19 minutes just at the moment, because genuinely speaking, that was Leicester City's first real shot of the game. I wouldn't have cared if Vardy had just hit that straight up. It's this bit. We block the attempted pass. It bounces back to him. He takes a single touch. And out of nowhere, just unleashes a rocket into the bottom corner. So, tearing my hair out, it was 1-0 Leicester, and we needed to get ourselves back in the game. And then this is where I felt like having a mental breakdown. Locadia in towards Watkins, in towards Izquierdo. I didn't even control Pascal Gross for that one, but they clear it off the line. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Have you ever seen that, guys, in this year's game? Have a look at this, right? The pass was supposed to go to Izquierdo. I couldn't switch to Pascal Gross. The game took over, kind of just made him take a touch, and it was trickling in before they cleared it off the line. And somehow, Leicester came away with the 3 points here. Yep, we lost by a goal to 0 at the King Power Stadium. 2 defeats in the last 2 games against Burnley and Leicester. They actually had 3 shots in the end, but largely the possession was on our side. We only had 1 shot on target from our 6, which just simply put isn't good enough. But I genuinely could not believe that we didn't get a point from that game. I would have taken a point before that. And that now, for the first time in a long time, knocked us out of the top 4. We're in 5th place, ladies and gentlemen. So this might just be a lot harder than we first thought coming into the back end of the season. But that's it for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you so much for all of your support on the channel. I will see you all again later on tonight for the My Player episode that's to come out. Until then, guys, if you're not already subscribed, hit that button. Hit the notification bell as well so you never miss an upload. And I'll catch you all again soon. Adios.